All right, welcome everyone. I am still having technical difficulties live streaming this, but I will work on that as we move forward. I want to welcome everyone to our uh, September, can you believe it, collaborative meeting. And I'm Deborah Stout, the Executive Director, and I have invited everyone just to use the chat to share any of your resources, contact information, connect as we're going throughout this meeting. I do ask that you keep yourself on mute, and also this will be streaming live on Facebook, so just be aware of the background. You feel free if you would like to uh, unmute yourself and stop the video whenever you feel comfortable. And I'm grateful for everyone joining us. I know that we have quite a few of our board members here. We have Bev Berman and David Galanders. Helene Morris is here, along with Christian Esteban from Jason Phillips is here, and Leanna Forcucci, our fearless chair. Lisa McFerrin from Fullerton College is also joining us today. And we will have probably a few more coming in. So welcome everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and Leanna, if you want to go ahead and take on the introductions of our speakers.
You know, I was just looking for the order. I'm so sorry, Miss Deborah. I've been slammed over here since I walked in.
Not a problem. So first we will have Helene Morris. She's the Director of Administrative Services at Fullerton School District. And then we'll have Marilee Cosgrove she's the Director of Child Development Services from Fullerton School District. Then we will follow up from our elementary school district to move on. We'll graduate, as per se, to the high school. And Carlos will lead us. He's the district mental health coordinator from Fullerton Joint Union High School District. And I don't see Scott there. He probably is. Scott Huffman will be joining us from the Director of Student Support Services from Fullerton Joint Union High School District. And then after that discussion, I will go ahead and take the lead and direct us in regards to the committee updates. So with that, Leanna, I'm going to go ahead and turn it to you.
Thank you so much, Debbie, and thank you everybody for joining us today. So first we will have Miss Helene Morris, who works for Fullerton Unified School District, and give us an update on what their plans are for this fall.
Okay, great. Thank you. As everybody shared, I'm Helene Morris. I'm the Director of Administrative Services for the Fullerton School District. We're the K-8 district, and I'm sharing my screen right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you a really brief snapshot of a parent webinar that we had last week. We actually had 3 of them. This is a very abbreviated version, and I'm going to go through it just quickly with you in the interest of time, but I'll show you where you can find the full version on our website. So just to tell you a little bit about our reopening plans, this is a parent webinar that we've shared with our families last week, and I'll show you on the website. Sorry, I'm having trouble clicking to the next slide. Here we go. As I shared, I'll take you to our website. But basically, the questions we answered for our parents and that I'm going to go through with you today is: when will in-person instruction begin? How will children know and parents know who their child's teacher is? How are we placing students? What are the learning choices and what does that look like? Where will students be learning? And then how parents were able to make that choice. So in-person instruction, when does that begin? For us, that will begin Tuesday, October 13th for all students. And then we do have an opening on Monday, September 21st for select students who are on IEPs and special education classes so that we can help phase those students into our school environment. We also, many parents want to know, like, who will be my child's teacher? Well, one of the strengths of our models is, oh, sorry, here we go. It jumped ahead a little bit. One of the strengths of our model is that in most cases, children will stay with their same teacher. There may be some minor junior high teacher changes, but overall students will get to stay with their same teacher. The next question is, how are students placed? It's based on parent choice. So, and then we tried to play based on, place based on siblings, and then work with parents and calendars, and do our placements that way. But our parents all have a choice. And then what are the learning choices? What does that look like? So we basically have 4 options. One is a 5-day, where parents send their students 5 days a week. The second is hybrid learning. That's the second icon you see, where parents can send their students 2 to 3 days a week. The third option is virtual learning, which is basically what students are doing now, the distance learning. And then the fourth option is MyFSD Academy, and that's a specific program. It's similar to what some of us might think of as a homeschool, and that's at 2 of our schools. That's at Orangethorpe and at at Rolling Hills, Orangethorpe and Rolling Hills. But to tell you a little bit more about the 5-day, students are in class for 2 days per week and alternating Wednesdays. They connect via Zoom in a supervised on-campus space on alternate days. They get core instruction 5 days a week, so they're learning every day. And then they get enrichment opportunities 5 days per week, and then there's some optional opportunities as well. In the hybrid, students are in class on campus 2 full days a week and alternating Wednesdays. And then even though they're only on campus 2 or 3 days a week, they're still accessing their classroom via Zoom from home on alternating days. So they're receiving core content 5 days per week. So that's really awesome. And then they also have enrichment opportunities. And then for our virtual learning, students are learning 5 days a week. They're just staying home, and that's might be a choice that's best for that family. And they're getting core content and then also opportunities for enrichment. Where will children be learning? You know, we are doing social distancing. So without going too much into this, we're keeping our classrooms at 14 to 17 students. And then we have other places on campus, you know, for our 5-day kids where they can be learning. You know, we have different structures set up. We have multi-purpose rooms and those settings as well. And then parents, today is actually the day for our parents to make their choice of what option they want. If parents don't make a choice, we default them into the hybrid option. But this basically just explains our process of how they choose by the parent portal and go ahead and make their choice. So again, this was a very brief summary of the parent webinar that we had. And then I'm going to right now take you out of this presentation, if I can do this right, and over to our website. So our website is just, and I'll post this in the chat as well, but our website is Fullerton. Is everybody seeing this? Like, some good nods or thumbs up? Okay. FullertonSD.org. And if you just go to our first page and you just hover right here over distance learning, you'll see those 4 options. And if you click, just click right on there. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time here. Oh, my internet is slow. That's what it is. But if you go down, you can actually see the learning options. So here's that. Here's the one of the parent webinars. You can watch the whole thing. You can see me in it typing questions back to families in the chat, and then that whole, you'll actually see the presentation here about that. I shared an abbreviated version, but you'll see about the learning options there. So this really tells you a lot about what's happening next with our district. So I just wanted to point that out. And again, I got there through just our main web page and just clicking these icons at the top. There's one more thing I want to talk to you really briefly about Fullerton School District. Also on this main landing page, if you click COVID-19 update and guidelines, and you scroll down to the sidebar, I just want to point out some of the safety protocols that we have in place, because I know that that's a concern for many people. So if you click here, we have so many different protocols that we have done about general measures, hygiene practices. We've put in hand sanitizing stations, hand washing stations, face coverings. Our students and staff will be wearing masks, how we're ensuring teacher safety, how we're disinfecting our area, how we're implementing distance learning inside and outside of the classroom, even just how we're using our spaces, how we have dots on the ground showing students how to walk in line, how we're distancing our desks, how we're using the office. We even have tubs so that cohort A and B can share, not share the same belongings. We're training staff and families. We have videos for the students to watch their first week back in school. How we're doing checks in the morning, like everybody's having their temperature checked. Anyway, you can see that it's a lot here. So I just wanted you, I guess, rather than putting everybody on cognitive overload, and I'll stop sharing my screen right now. The main point I think for you to walk away with is that a team of committed educators have really worked hard and diligently to not only plan for reopening schools, but to put those safety protocols into place. I don't know if we're taking questions now or maybe at the end, but I will put our website in the chat. So I'll turn it over to Leanna for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Helene. It was really, really helpful. Next, we have Marilee Cosgrove from Fullerton Unified School District. I think you're still muted, Marilee. Marilee, I think you're.
I heard you. I just couldn't find the unmute button.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so as I oversee the Child Development Services, and Deborah had asked me to just talk a little bit about preschool. In addition to preschool, that some of you may or may not know, we have a grant-funded after-school education and safety expanded learning with a focus on academic support, social emotional development, and enrichment experiences. We also have a First Five California. It's called we call it the Early Learning Studio. The technical term is called the Learning Links, and it's for children and an adult as young as 18 months until 4 years of age. That's a little bit on hiatus right now. And then we have our grant-funded California State Preschool Program, fee-based preschool program, and also a fee-based school age before and after school program. So I just wanted to give you a little update on what we've been doing, and we are heavily involved in distance learning. And these are actual photographs from the children's engagement. Whoops, where's my thing? Sorry. There we go. In addition to the distance learning, we know that 3 and 4-year-olds have limited time frames. So it's on a very limited basis in terms of the live interaction. So the teachers also have developed websites with experiences that parents can or adults can work with their children on, as well as document what their interaction is. I just want to share an example of a quick website of one of our teachers. Again, this is in addition to the live virtual learning. So this is from one of the classrooms, and it talks about the daily check-in, and they have a greeting and how are you feeling, and then they have music videos that the teacher does. There's how are you feeling today? Miss Vanessa said that she's feeling excited. They have a calming room so that we can practice our deep breathing and to get relaxed. Preschool fun. They do videos of, in addition to the singing and storybook reading, they also have science experiment, physical music and movement. This one was the 5 senses and yoga. I just wanted to share that briefly with you all. So all the teachers have a similar website, and then it's also aligned to our assessment tool, which is through California Department of Ed. It's called Desired Results Developmental Profile, and it's in the different domains. So everything's aligned to that. We've had fantastic support from parents. Teachers also have engagement packets that are separate, that we have drive-by pickups. They also send them via, a smart device. If they can't access, again, we have the drive-by pickups. For those parents that needed electronic device support, the district provided that. There's the family check-in. In addition to the teachers, our school readiness nurses also check in with the families. The meals, if you're an AM class, you have either, actually for this time right now, normally it would be breakfast or lunch. Right now it's lunch for both the AM and PM class. And we also provide a lot of resource and referral information. The best part, to be honest with you, about this whole experiences is the relationships that we've been able to build with families. You know how a normal busy day is. The parents drop their children off. We have an AM and PM class. There's very little time for parents' conversations in between classes. And this allows the teachers to make specific appointments with the parents. The parents know that they can contact the teachers at any time. And so if there's more intentionality, so to speak, due to the time frame that we have to be able to listen and respond. And that has really been a wonderful addition. Not that we don't try to do that during the normal school year, it's just the constraints of how the program operates. When asked about what can the collaborative do to support, we're always looking for materials. We put together, prior to the start of schools, individual material bags for all the students. And we can always use more if that's something that you have access to. We would gladly receive drawing paper and black Sharpies, books, crayons, markers, pencils, tape measure, and watercolors. And that's about it, I believe I have for us. Do you have any questions?
I do not see any questions in the chat. Of course, feel free to enter them if you have them, or we could open it up just for a break. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilee. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move forward to Carlos Alcantara. Hope I said that right. He's the district mental health coordinator for the Fullerton Joint Unified High School District. So Carlos, we'd love to hear what you have to share with us today.
Thank you, Leanna. And yes, you said it correctly. My name is Carlos Alcantara. I'm the district mental health coordinator. Happy to share with you guys. The focus of my conversation with you guys today is to tell you a little bit about some of the resources and services that we've had last year and how we are progressing and kind of developing this year. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Oh, sorry about that. Let me go back. And there we go. So what I'd like to start off with is kind of giving you a little bit of heads up of what we've been able to develop since from last year, from 2019 to this year. We had an opportunity to collaborate with agencies in our community. And with a lot of the things that our students and families were struggling with, both things that were impacting them in school and outside of school, we were able to streamline a resource process and a referral process so that our students can access these resources, be able to attain interventions or tools that the families needed. Anything from just individual therapy to finding some community-based services that can help the family and or the student, kind of anything from basic needs to medical needs. So we're able to do that. I'm so excited. Our district community liaison, Ana Lopez, who I see here today, was instrumental in that. She created a comprehensive resource list for all of our school sites. And so this last year, we were very intentional with our administrators, counselors, school psychologists, and nurses to access that resource, be able to communicate those resources proactively to students via the teachers or via like presentations, parent meetings, council meetings. And so we were very proactive this last year to being able to share about the resources available to our families at our different school sites. I also was very intentional about being involved in a lot of our meetings, what are called SITs or IEPs, and that's when we collaborate with the student, the family, and then any kind of person from the school staff personnel that was involved in the dynamics, and really being able to communicate resources and services. So we were very proactive in that. we developed this last year, a mental health work group. So we have stakeholders from all different kinds of backgrounds and responsibilities. We've all come together and say, how are we supporting both ourselves as adults, as well as our students on the social emotional side, on the mental health side? How are we ensuring that we look at both at the academic, behavioral, and social emotional dynamics of our school sites? And we're having intentional conversations. So that just launched last year, and I'll share a little bit more about that as we kind of move forward. And being able to collaborate with you guys. We've been proactively involved with your collaboration and trying to really gain more resources and knowledge about the different things that are happening both at the school sites, but also the community agencies that are around us, so that we can still, we can continue to develop collaborative relationships with you guys. So these are some of the specific trainings that we had last year that we were able to provide. All of our administrators were trained on information that had to do with mental health, the community-based organizations and resources that were available to them. We also had some trauma-informed presentations to our administration. And as I shared with you earlier, we really began to focus on social emotional learning. So we began to have trainings from the Orange County Department of Education. We were able to collaborate with them to bring some trainings to our different school sites on really beginning to infuse some terminology, language, and adaptive competencies in regards to social emotional learning into our different school sites. And with our school counselors and our school staff, we were able to develop something called educator wellness sessions, especially when we went to distance learning. I'm very happy to share that our district really prioritized the well-being, not only for our students and ensuring that their well-being, but we also had some intentional site conversations with our staff. And we had educator wellness sessions, and that's where I facilitated conversations with our staff to help them in their own personal journey of balancing this home work-life dynamics. And we were able to review techniques and tools on a weekly basis that they would be able to utilize both for themselves personally, but also be able to kind of translate some of that if they wanted to use it in their classroom dynamics or in whatever role that they had on the different school sites. So we had those dynamics transition as we went to distance learning. This year, we were able to develop this document here, and we are working right now to actually going to be publicizing this very soon to our different, on our school district website. And it's a comprehensive list of all of the different support services that we have available to our families, students, and faculty this year. So we divided it on a tiered section, so that tier 1, this is something that is available, a resource that's available to all staff, students, families at any point in time. They can access it via the school sites, but they are more than welcome to access it on their own. And I'll share a little bit more about them. They're care solace. I want to specifically focus on them. I'll come back to them. But just want to highlight that the tier 2 level and tier 3 level, this is where the students are demonstrating a little bit higher level, needing some higher level of support. And we really target school-based mental health services. We want to focus on things that are impacting their academic functioning, performance, behavior, or attendance. And so when we look at some of those things, we've developed a streamlined approach to being able to support those students, capture them when we start noticing some of those concerning behaviors, and then establish meetings and protocols for our families and students to access our services. So we have a tier 2 level support services where we've contracted with some agencies to provide that level of support. And the tier 3 level is a much higher level of support, maybe a little bit, the dynamics that the student and our family are facing is a little bit more complex or requires more of a longevity of support. So we have that tier 3 level, and we have some contracted agencies that we are working with in regards to being able to provide those services. And so let me come back. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. The hard part about these presentations is you can't see that little top area, you know. There we go, my presentation. So this is the development of our tiered support. We're going to be sharing that with our different district website sites, and the different sites are going to be communicating this. And as I shared with you earlier, we are also excited to continue to provide educator wellness sessions to all of our staff. We provide them before school, during the lunch break, and after school. And these are sessions where our staff are able to come and get some information on tools, techniques, and strategies that they can utilize for themselves personally and professionally to continue to help them overall. And then this is what I wanted to kind of focus on with you guys. We're so excited that on that tier 1 support, we have collaborated with an agency called Care Solace. And Care Solace are experts in linking any family, any student, and faculty member with any mental health related support service that they need. So that can be anything from just seeking a therapist all the way up to an inpatient support service. So it's a free and confidential support service that we are contracting with CareSolace. So the family, the student, the faculty member can call CareSolace, present to them what are some of the obstacles that they're facing, if they have insurance, if they don't, those kind of dynamics. And CareSolace has a specific list of vetted agencies, providers, and mental health service organizations that they link with, and they will literally help that student, that family, or that faculty through the entire process of ensuring they get connected to the mental health resource. So as I shared with you, it's confidential for all of us, for the students and the families. If the student or family is needing support in that process, then at that point they can connect with one of our staff administrators, school counselors, or school nurses or school psychologists, and we can help them through that process. And at that point, we are kind of monitoring, we get email updates because we're supporting them in that process. But again, as I shared with you, if the family says we just want to do it on our own, this is something that we've been communicating. So this email was sent out, a letter was sent out from our superintendent to all of our faculty, students and families this summer. And this is going to be an ongoing support service for all of us this year. So we're very, very excited for them to be a part of us this year. And just wanted to end that this is kind of, as we continue to develop, we're working on the district-wide mental health work group. We're providing information on social emotional learning. We're looking at that transitions and all the different models in regards to our students' well-being, physical and emotional well-beings, both on and off campus. So we're continuing all of those different platforms through an avenue of hope. How do we instill hope? How can we communicate that we have hope in the midst of everything that we're trying to navigate through? So with that, I just want to say thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hear about what we're doing here at Fullerton.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Unfortunately, Debbie told me that Scott had an emergency and he's not going to be able to make it today. So we are going to move on to our subcommittee updates. Unless you had something else at this time, Deborah, if there were some questions that came in that needed to be addressed first.
I am not, so I'm just reading some items. I don't think that is. I know that, thank you, Carlos. I just wanted to, once again, pitch it. He was sharing some of Scott's, actually all of Scott's information as well as his. So excellent. Thank you for that information. So with that, we will go ahead and move into the subcommittees. And you want to just do an update on the executive?
Yes. Again, with our executive board right now, we have kind of just really shift our focus with putting all of our efforts and energy into how we can support all of our membership and our subcommittees with the current changing needs with COVID that we're living in. We really just want to be a support system for all of our members and all of our nonprofits in the city of Fullerton. And that is really where our executive board and the whole board is focused on right now. So we really want to try to foster as much open communication with all of you of how we could support you and connecting you to each other. It's just really, really important now more than ever that we're here for each other. We do our membership. Deborah, what is the best way for them to renew their membership at this time?
You could either, I can send them a link about how to renew online or through the, in the post office mail. So either way. So.
Perfect. So if that's something that you're needing to do for your organization, or if you know any other organizations that would benefit from being a member at this time, Debbie's a great the one to reach out to, and she can help you get that link to renew your membership for this year. So that's about it for the executive board. Do you want to go ahead, Jason? I saw you pop on. You want to do yours next for the homelessness?
Well, just kind of an update. We've stopped. We haven't been meeting as a subcommittee or task force, but with some interesting things coming up around housing and some advocacy around that's what we're really trying to focus on right now. So I was going to let David share. about some opportunities if you're able to, Mr. Gillanders.
Sure. Thanks for putting me on the spot, Jason. Appreciate that as always.
I texted you earlier.
Yeah, I don't read your texts. No, in all seriousness, yeah, no, there's proposals are due tomorrow for the for a couple of the surplus land pieces that are available in the city to build affordable housing on, and there's going to be I'm sure a lot of interest in both of those sites from a lot of developers trying to build on them. Pathways is trying to build on both of them, affordable housing for families. That's our proposal that we're putting forward. So we appreciate people who have come forward so far. Several organizations are represented here who sent letters of support. We really appreciate all of those for our proposal. But yeah, so I mean, that's just kind of the process. And now it's going to take about 90 days for them to negotiate with prospective bidders on it and try to come up with the best deal possible to present to City Council for their consideration. So we're still got a long ways to go in the process, but it's pretty exciting that we're going to see some new affordable housing likely get built in the city of Fullerton for families. It's great. It's a priority of Pathways of Hope, and hopefully priority for all of you. And I know it's something that we talk a lot about with the collaborative. So yeah, that's about it. I don't know if there's any specific opportunities to advocate right now, but there's definitely all of this stuff is stuff that we should be keeping our eyes on to make sure that we are prepared to do advocacy work when it's time. So.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Okay, Barry, I see you're here with us today. Can you give us an update for education?
Yes, Marilee and I had a call with Sandy from Early Childhood OC to kind of regroup and think about what the right timing is to move forward with our early childhood education initiative. And so we basically decided to kind of put it on pause till after the first of the year, given all the things that have been going on. But we want to make everybody aware that a lot of the child care programs are in jeopardy around the country. And that will have a very negative impact on a lot of families. And so we have to keep our radar up around that issue and look at where there's opportunities for advocacy. And I just wanted to mention, separate from that, on the area of mental health, our health system has a digital mental health platform for teens and parents. And so I'm sending something out to all of the districts that have middle schoolers or high schoolers to let them know about the free resources that are available. And also the system's going to have a virtual mental health summit for teens and parents and educators at the end of October. So I'm sending that out as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barry. And then next we have Christian from Esteban from Hoya Scholars and Bev Berryman from Creighton Services for our next gen.
Thanks, Leanna. For Bev, I'll just make a quick update here. This will be brief. For those of you in organizations serving youth and emerging adults, we absolutely need you to be part of the Next Gen subcommittee. It's 30 minutes out of your time once a month to be able to get together and share on some of the youth-based services that are happening around the city. And we try to make it a very quick roundtable. We had our first meeting of this new season earlier this month, and we had about 15 partners gather, which was wonderful. This upcoming meeting, and I'll put this in the chat, we're going to be getting together again for our monthly meeting on Tuesday, October 6th at 10 a.m. over Zoom. If you're not already on the Next Gen mail list, let me know and I'll add you onto the list. We'll be getting together a needs list in this portion. That way we can report out any needs that nonprofit partners have, and we'll be sharing that with the wider collaborative. So looking forward to seeing you on October 6th. And again, I'll include that date in the chat. And that's all I have. Leanna.
Perfect. Thank you. And then also, Deborah, you'll be reporting out for health and wellness for our Move More, Eat Healthy.
Yes, I'm going to actually turn it over to Peter in just a moment. I just wanted to invite everyone that is in the community that wants to get involved around health and wellness in our city. Come to our next meeting. It is a virtual meeting, and it will be, it's always the fourth Wednesday of each month. So the next one is, I'm looking at my calendar, September 23rd, and that is at 10 o'clock. And we share resources. We work together on providing a strategic plan around health and wellness. Last month, we had the Fullerton School District share some exciting ways that they're engaging the youth in the city, and especially around the city with the highest need. We also are working with the city of Fullerton, and they have exciting things going on with scavenger hunts and food programs with the seniors. So I invite you to come and join us at the next meeting to find out more on how you can get involved and be able to share that information. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Peter if you want to give us an update on the Move More Eat Healthy.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So as a result of the pandemic, physical activity has been a huge focus for the Move More Eat Healthy campaign. And so with that, we've actually been launching a little campaign focused on promoting physical activity. And so at the start of September, we actually launched our Fall into Fitness campaign, just because we were having a lot of success with our Move More Virtual Summer 2020. And so with the Fall into Fitness campaign, we're actually offering 16 weekly physical activity classes for the community that they can access virtually through Zoom or Facebook to participate in physical activity in a safe manner and at home. And so with the Fall into Fitness, we've actually been working with the community to set goals for themselves focused on physical activity. According to the recommendations, adults should be participating in 30 minutes of physical activity a day, and youth in 1 hour a day. And of course, with the pandemic, this has been very difficult. And so in order to kind of promote and make it a lot more fun and entertaining to partake in physical activity, we actually started a kids fitness challenge at the start of September. And so with the Kids Fitness Challenge, we are actually raffling off 3 different prizes. And so first place with the Kids Fitness Challenge will receive a $100 gift card to Target. Second place will receive a $75 gift card to Target. And third place will receive a $50 gift card to Target. I won't go too much into the details, but pretty much what we're asking of the community is to submit a fun and entertaining video of their favorite physical activity or movement, and submit it to movemoreeathealthy@gmail.com, and try to utilize a creative take when explaining what your favorite physical activity is. So I'll go ahead and include the flyer in the chat box. And currently in the city of Fullerton, we actually have had 103 goals set so far in the first 2 weeks. And we've had 10 students from Fullerton School District submit videos to Move More Eat Healthy. And so as far as the people who will be judging who the winners are and selecting them, it will be 3 different teachers from Fullerton School District. And so I'll go ahead and include the flyer in the chat box and send it to Debbie. If you all have any questions, please, you can always message me. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. So we are working in North Orange County and with other collaboratives. And one of the exciting things that we actually have been able to do is partner with both Placentia Collaborative and the Bonaparte Collaborative. And we are actually helping to share and possibly invite the members to unbiased explanation of the state ballot measures on October the 6th with all of the North Orange County collaboratives. So if you wanted to join us, this is a draft flyer, so you'll see the final version of the flyer in our share box, but I wanted just to share that information with you, that we are working together with those collaborative members as well. And I know that we have exciting things going on with our members. And I'm trying to look at the agenda. We are ready to open it up for partner announcements. And what I suggest we do is we go through it. I'll just invite people if you wanted to share, if you wanted to go ahead and use the icon with either a hand up or something so I know to call on you. And once again, if you wanted to share the information in the chat, that's also very helpful. I saw a post from Adam. You wanted to share an update from Karate OC?
Yes, hello everybody. So currently right now we are actually working with some people with the Fullerton School District. We've had some parents kind of concerned about the current PE instruction with kids not being able to focus very well, not seeing that they're getting that much activity while they're in school. So right now we're working we have a virtual program right now that we're trying to get maybe into the schools to help the kids, get some more physical activity, especially since, it's very hard to keep the kids focused while they're, on their, devices and whatnot. So we have some kids, some of our parents that have their kids here at the studio. We're helping their kids with, their online schooling, and we see it firsthand, and how hard it is for these kids to stay focused for, 4 or 5 hours on Zoom. And then having to do their, PE training when there's, so many distractions and they're at home and whatnot. So, and because of the pandemic and how many other, small businesses, have gone under, we are opening up our facility to, be able to potentially be used for, anything the district might need. So I know Jason, the other manager here, is in contact with somebody about that. If there's anybody else, in the collaborative, or anybody that might, need some extra space, whether it be a yoga studio, dance studio, whatever it is, we have, a large 15,000 square foot facility that's not really being used to its max capacity right now. So, yeah, that's really about it right now.
Great. Thank you so much, Adam. I appreciate that update. I also see, Teresa, you posted in the chat, Cal State Fullerton did a great virtual race, encouraging people to complete 57 miles in 19 days, walking or running. I think that'd be a great way that we can also possibly investigate that together with the health and wellness. So definitely looking at that. I'm going to actually ask, Teresa, do you want to share any updates from the chamber? I know you have some amazing programs going on. And if you're not getting their announcements.
Yeah, we're really working hard to make sure that businesses know about the opportunities with grants and loans regarding economic development opportunities. They come and go very quickly, but we've been working very hard to push them out to our members. And then we're also working with the Development Board and United Way on some programs. So I just posted a virtual job fair that's coming up. And I think even though it says if you're interested in registering your business, that link that I put in the chat, you can either register and get information as an employee or as a prospective employee. So again, we're just working to make sure that we can be the connector that people anticipate we'll be.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Teresa. Wonderful work that you're doing there at the chamber. I don't see anybody else's hands up. So anybody want to share an update, how they're able to transition right now in the
Hi, Debbie. I'd like to share a little something.
Thanks, Shelley.
Everybody, my name is Shelley Manharaj, CalOptima. I'm one of the community relations specialists. I just wanted to let you all know that we are still sending out our weekly COVID-19 announcements. So they're really helpful because they are current. They get sent out every Wednesday. They're short and sweet, but have really relevant information to people that work with the community. So I can put the sign up link in the chat. I'll also include my email if anybody wants to connect or just quickly chat about Medi-Cal or anything of that sort. I'm always happy to chat over the phone or on a Zoom call. Let me know. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Shelley, so much. I appreciate that. And you had a announcement in the chat about the Jan, the podcast that happened. Is that, do you want to just mention a little bit about that? And then Katie, I'll have you go next.
Yeah, and I think Dennis also had his hand up. Yeah, I just want to let you know that the G3X conversation we had on Zoom is now a podcast and was released. So you can check out my podcast feed if you want to listen to it.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Zoot. So Katie and then Dennis.
Hi, good afternoon, Fullerton Collaborative members. I wanted to share with you that Cal State Fullerton is doing our first common read. It's information that I've shared with our board, and oh, my background is blurred out, so I'm not going to be able to show you the book that I have. It's the Book of the Unknown Americans, and we would love to invite folks in the community to join us in this read. I do have some digital codes available, so if you're interested, please message me, and I'm happy to share that with folks. We do have a chance for the authors coming in October. It's going to be a virtual event, and we just want to invite the community to join in the conversation. It's about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and we thought by reading a common book, we could all come together and talk about it. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Katie. And Dennis?
Okay, yeah, sure. I just wanted to share a couple of things that are how we've been approaching things at the parish. Last week, with the with Orange County going up to a higher level anyway, or a better level with regard to COVID, we were, we're now able to, of course, celebrate Mass or have celebrations up to 100 people within the church. Well, the diocese with that said that, okay, that daily Masses we could celebrate within the church, but then they asked that all the parishes within the whole diocese continue to celebrate the Sunday Masses outside, because for a lot of parishes, 100 people is really almost, really almost a laughable number to try to, when you got parishes with 6,400 parishioners, how do you do it? So we decided that we're just, for the time being, just going to continue to celebrate Mass outside. We have a tent and we celebrate it that way. In 3 weeks, there might be again a change if things continue to go well, that the number will go up to possibly 250, where the whole diocese will reevaluate that. Now with faith formation, with what we've decided there is that, well, the teens and the confirmation, that's going to be done like a lot of folks by Zoom mostly and so forth. For the first communion kids, though, it's kind of cute that we've decided we're going to have the parents come to class. And we're going to have the parent, basically, and we're going to teach the parents how to teach their kids, and it's a way, because with volunteers, most of them are older, would not necessarily be comfortable teaching folks where after 6 hours of wearing masks, that the kids wouldn't want to do that anymore. And yet, okay, to have a large group of older folks leading Zoom classes would seem very hard. So we thought this was kind of a cute way to do it. And all of us involved in this, we're smiling that for generations, the Catholic Church has always said the principal educators of people in the faith are to be the parents. And so we're going to be helping them. And there's a little bit of fear there, I suppose, but we, that actually they'll only come twice a month. And once a month, it will be explaining what they want, that we want them to do with their kids. And we'll give them packets to do that. And then following month, they bring those packets back. And then once a month, actually, it would be really for them, that it'd be sort of a reflection time based on a theme, and be done for the parents themselves. So we're kind of excited about that. Finally, our St. Vincent de Paul Society continues to offer food, foodstuffs. Our pantry is open on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. We've had a good number of folks pass through each time for that, and then on occasion we have the group or whatever, United Across Borders, coming over to do a car-based food distribution on Saturdays, but that's also done elsewhere, and so we're kind of on their list or whatever as we go around. So that's what's been going on by us. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Father. All right, so I also have a couple of things in the chat that I see. on October. It is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Thank you for that, and to join WTLC in their efforts. So that link is in the chat. Also, CalOptima, thank you, Shelley, for sharing your information with everyone and inviting them to join the communication efforts by signing up to get weekly COVID community announcements. And so that sign up is also available for you as well. Just looking to see if other hands
I
up.
have one little update.
Absolutely.
We were able to get CF Dance Academy was able to get a permit for outdoor operations on Mondays and Saturdays. So we do have a handful of classes that we can offer in person no matter what, whether we're open or closed. I know we're finding, a lot of kids that are needing some type of social interaction before schools open. As you can hear the music happening right now. All of our classes that are in person start 15 minutes early, and the teacher comes early, and it's just a check-in, and the kids have a chance to just chat with their friends and talk to the teacher. So we're not only supplying dance education, we're also serving the families by giving the dancers and the families that chance to connect and just talk and have a space to talk in person and have some social development encouraged. So just hit me up if you want some more information about that.
Okay, excellent. I just put in the chat the flyers. So if you have flyers that you want to include to the general public, go ahead and put them in the share drop box. Hopefully you're able to access them. I haven't seen a lot in there, so I just want to make sure that everybody's able to download and put that information, put your information in there. I do send that out to the general public. And I also wanted to also invite you, if you're not a member already of the collaborative, to join us as a member. And I'll put that in the link. I also will put that on the Facebook Live page as well. I know that at this time in the year, it's hard to remember. Okay, when did I pay it? Just remember, July 1st is our new year, and we go through June. So we hope to have the members join us and have you join us at the next meeting. Our next meeting, which will be once again that second Monday in October, we will have actually a meeting with our city manager. Ken Domer will join us, along with the fire chief Adam Lauser will be joining us and sharing updates from the city and how we can, as the collaborative, support them. So if you want to be on that call and that chat, we would love to have you as well. Maybe share a couple of questions that you would have for them and come up with those questions, and I'll put them together as they direct their thoughts and their ideas to the collaborative members. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat here, or you can shoot me an email after the meeting as well. I also invite you, we have 5 more minutes, to include your contact information. What a great, Jerry had a great idea about sharing the roster for people that sign up. I will reach out and I'll look at that roster, because I know that some people might be using their personal information to log in. So I just don't know if you would like that to be shared. So for right now, we'll go ahead and just use the chat. So just share that information, share your resources and your flyers. We would love to connect you with that information as well. With that, I don't see any other hands up. Any final words, Leanna, you want to share?
Just that I appreciate all of you so much. It's even virtually, it's a pleasure to see all of you. I miss feeling my community. You know, I'm starting to really miss that together time and us checking into with each other with all of our community events. So this time means a lot to me. So I appreciate all of you coming and giving us a chance to connect, even if they're just small updates, knowing that we're all in this together and we're going to see this through as partners in this city. It helps me. So I hope it also helps you.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Debbie. Nice meeting.
Thanks, Bev.
You're
I'm
always
excited.
on top of it.